Good to hear from you. Good to be online again. Let's just wait for like 1 minute for everybody to settle in. We have lots of stuff to cover today. I'm very, very excited. My colleague will be sharing with the team our the stuff that we're going to be talking about today. So, shall we get started soon? Right, today's AMA is going to be pretty long, as you can imagine. It's been a while since I've talked to all of you. I apologize for the silence. It's just that, there's been so many things happening, and we just need to get ourselves in gear. Now, we will be covering quite a lot of issues. I'll give a general update of what happened on the 14th of March, and our new strategy, some of the stuff that we are working on and that we have rolled out, the relaunch plan, and I will leave some time to go through the Q&A. So, general update: what happened on the 14th of March? We obviously once again we apologize for the launch that happened. Sorry if I sound a bit off. I've just been working on this slide for many hours, and just a bit tired. Okay, so we took a long time to go through the data for multiple reasons. I know many people have said that it's just so simple to just put the data together, but really, honestly, because of the nature of the contract, it is actually impossible to write a script to try to pull up the data. There are reasons for that, because as you can see from this update, there were many data mining challenges because there are 7 categories of scenarios that we have to look at. First is the pre-sale people who never saw anything, the one who dumped and bought after they launch, and the one that when they after they dump they at launch they bought and they sell. Some after the launch they capped the pre-sale but they bought more, and of course there are those that didn't receive the tokens, and there are the ones that dump and have zero balance, and there are the ones that the pre-sellers who sold some, and then there are those that only bought during the launch time. Because of this multiple scenario, it gets very complicated. As you can see, I've marked here the ones in red that really had a huge impact on the whole data mining. So you can see that the pre-sale dumpers with the zero balances had the biggest impact of 57% of the total BNB sell at 309 BNB. And the pre-sale dumpers who bought and sell during the initial launch. So people have come to us and said, what did you do? What did you do? Well, we really didn't have time to address this when we were trying to fix the issue, because there were a lot of dynamics happening. It wasn't just about coming to announce and telling you what to do. We had to react to the situation. So this is why we did what we did. I have already mentioned many times, those of you that that was, to be in all honesty, there was like maybe 3 or 4 pre-sellers who dumped at a huge loss. We are aware of those, and we will definitely compensate them, because it is not in it is not their fault. They were just reacting to a situation. But we had instances where people, I had a few instances where I clearly remember, because I looked at all the data, I clearly remember that there was somebody who made at least 4 times, okay, of what they originally paid. It more than covered their whole investment. And they came back to me and said that they lost money. So I was quite puzzled and curious about what happened. So I went back into looking at that data, and that is what happened. They made money, but they went back to buy more, and then in the second set of transaction, they lost money. So now you cannot possibly say that you didn't make money because of that. This is after the launch already, right? And you are aware of the situation. So anyway, all in all, we looked at the data, and as I've said many times, the dampers are the one that, gave us issues. So we learned many lessons, the post-launch lessons that we learned, and we acknowledge that it was a mistake to launch at 5 times the pre-sale price. We acknowledge that, and because when we decided on this 5 times pre-sale price, it was on the basis that there was going to be leftover tokens, but there was actually no unsold tokens. So if you take that into consideration, we really did need to do that, right? But well, it happened, so we acknowledge that we made mistake. The airdropping of the tokens was a big issue. It was totally unexpected because the previous exercise that we did for all the airdrop, the token quantity was a lot smaller. So as you can imagine, when we did this airdrop, the quantity was fairly large. So that created some issues. And obviously, those of you that didn't receive the tokens, again, we apologize and we acknowledge that we will give you some extra tokens in compensation. In retrospect, you probably did better without getting it because you're getting the rebates, right? So another issue was also locking the LP too much too quickly. When we first launched, many people were coming to us and say, you have to lock the LP, you have to lock the LP. And even though we know that by doing so, our hands are tied to manage the situation, we went against our better judgment and immediately locked the LP too much, too quickly. And then when we had an issue, we couldn't deal with it. So it created multiple problems, which is why we had to dump the tokens, the circulating supply, and all that. And you know the rest. So that was a mistake. The stop trading function was disabled. This is something that we never thought would be an issue, so we disabled it. So our hands were tied, so we couldn't deal with the snipers and the bots draining the LP. So this was another thing that we learned. So again, as I said, putting too much LP too soon instead of monitoring the situation, this is something that we learned too, and we're going to address that. Tax issue, we had some issue with the contract, and it was a big mistake to make the changes last minute, and that of course resulted in the tax being overlooked. We had the smart contract audited, but it wasn't done properly. So this time round, we have engaged 3 independent auditors. 2 are official, 1 is unofficial. Actually, it's 4. We've got 4 different groups of people to look at it. The 2 official ones will be sending out the official audit after we mint the contract, and we will be putting it up for everybody to view. Of course, again, we hire them, we pay them to do the job. How long they do the job is really beyond our control. But the preliminary audit that they have done, they have given us the feedback. Most of the feedback they've given us pretty okay. It's not huge issues, but stuff that we can deal with. And more importantly, it was not so much of stuff that we can deal with, but more of, do we want to go in that direction? So these are things that we've handled for the audit. We will be doing more along the way with these auditors that we work with. We've been going back and forth with them with different stuff. So again, the report will come out once we give them the official contract. They've been working with the contract that we work with, so that's the official one that will be coming out soon. right? So lesson learned. Again, I apologize for all the stuff that happened, but it's been good and bad. A lot have happened. It has given us time to relook at stuff. So that's when we decided to change our strategy, right? Blue ocean strategy. This is something that has always been an intriguing concept that I follow and I really totally believe in. The idea of blue ocean strategy came out many years ago. I think it was at least 15, 20 years ago. Some of you might be too young to remember that. But I really like what the idea is about, to differentiate ourselves and to create new market space and new demand. And this is exactly the ethos of how we work. We want to get into this space, but we want to do things on our terms. We want to do things differently and not do things the way it is now and be status quo. Because fundamentally, if you do that, what's the point? You're not gonna be any different from any other Me Too products. Since the day we started the concept of doing Tigger with our plan and all that, how many new rebase tokens have come up with telling you about NFTs, about Metaverse, about all the products they're going to do, and how many of them have really done it? So, Blue Ocean strategy, creating something different, and this is what we plan to do. There are 4 areas that we're looking, that we came to the conclusion that we need to look at, and that is creating a rebranding strategy, creating quick wins, creating a roadmap on how we're going to develop this strategy, and of course, the relaunch. So this whole thing, we adopted this Blue Ocean strategy to do it. I really, really love the idea. If you are interested to learn more, Google them. It's a very interesting concept. Right. So with rebranding, we hear you. We have already, you have already seen the rebranding. We created this. Well, originally what happened was we were always going to have a white Tigger. White Tigger is following the model of the white tiger. A white tiger is a very, very, very special breed of tigers that uh, one of our designers told me about, and I was quite fascinated. And our lead designer mentioned that, told me this, and I really love it. He said it was said that the white tiger will only appear when the emperor ruled with absolute virtue, or if there was peace throughout the world. I love this saying, whether it's true or it's a fable or not, it doesn't matter, but it just sounds so brilliant. I just love this whole concept. And we took the feedback that we received about our old website. Some people would say it's over the top and it's too loud, it's this, and there was a lot of stuff that people talked about. So, well, we decided that, yes, we need to change. We're going to change. We're going to do all the changes that we need to do. And that's what we did. We created this new black and white and a little bit of orange concept. I know I had some incredible feedback. I know some people hated the new website because of the hypnotizing movement of the images. It can be quite hard to deal with, but really it's very smart, I thought, because it gives you that feeling of being in the metaverse, which is exactly what we were trying to do. But different folks, different strokes. So we believe by doing this, we wanted to show people what it's like to be in the metaverse. You're literally being hypnotized. So we created this whole new model. We changed We updated our white paper. We did a whole rebranding. If you look at the new logo, it's actually very smart design because they're showing the fangs, So this is why our designer came up with a tiger doesn't give up after one unsuccessful hunt. Instead, it learns and sharpens its skill, which is exactly what we admit that we have been through. We learn, and we're benefiting from the whole experience, and we are making changes and adapting it. You really can't fault us for the effort that we're putting in. That we really have done lots of stuff to do the changes, and I think it's been brilliant, right? So aside from this rebranding, a very important part of this whole exercise was creating quick wins. What does quick wins mean? Quick wins means that we have to have to create stuff that will make a big difference. So this is why we decided that we must have quick wins, and we came up with 4 different quick wins. The 4 different quick wins, the first quick win was Tigger Dash. The Tigger dashboard is already available. It will be open up to all of you you can, as a platform. This is going to be like your portfolio management platform. I know other tokens have got this platform, but the whole idea of having a Tigger Dash platform is not so much of just looking at your investment. This is essentially going to be your profile, your investor profile, your portfolio management. As we expand our product offerings, you will see more features and functionalities within this Tigger dashboard. And it's going to be basically your relationship with us, how everything is going to come together in this. There is a very cool calculator in there. It works very well. It shows you what is the projected rewards, what is the target amount that you can earn if you over a given period. So it's very nicely done. We will release this. It's actually available already, but we are going to link it up to your portfolio once the contract is up, and you will be able to see in great detail. But in the meantime, before the actual contract is linked to this, you can still see it, and you can do a manual calculation of your numbers within this. It's quite different from the other apps that you may have seen. This design was done by our lead designer. I really love it. It's very clean and very simple to look at. Okay, second quick win. We released Tigger Punt. The original plan was to create Tigger Punt as a product, but we needed to do it very fast, right? It was accelerated to create a quick win. So obviously the user interface is using a PancakeSwap user interface. Okay, kids. So I know that I had this message from one of our team members who said that, is this a PancakeSwap fork? Now, when he asked me the question, I was actually in the middle of something and I was totally distracted. So it kind of caught me off guard. But I had to address this, right? I had to address this because I don't like people to think that we are frauds. It's because the insinuation was that we created this was a copy and paste, and we are not able to create products. Now, let me tell you how we work. We create multiple products. Our intention as designers and developers is to create products. When we create products, as in any software developers will tell you, we work with our own code, we work with open source code, and we pick take bits and pieces that can be used and put them together to create a product. In this particular project, this project was outsourced to one of our freelance team, and so the instruction was, we want to create something like this, So what these guys did was, obviously they went out to create a PCS fork, and when they came to us, the code was given to us, and what we do is we extract what we want, we add in the code that we want. A big part of this code is what we call you can Google it, PCS UI kit, which is Pancake Swap User Interface Kit. That's an open source, right? Just like Solidity is open source. Okay, so these open source code are available for people to use, just like React. React is a code that originated from Facebook. Facebook used React to create the product Facebook, but eventually what they did was they open sourced the React code for other people to be able to use to create products. So to actually say a product is a PCS fork, I can't agree with that, even though people tell me that, yeah, this is what it is, because it's not black and white. It doesn't. In technology, in development, we don't think that way, just like regular people would, because to us, we take codes from different open source, just like in simple terms, it's just like taking Lego pieces. You take Lego pieces from different source and you put together and you build a product. Okay, so that is what basically application development is about. So one of my team members said that they've been, well, a couple of, I don't know, some of them, they've been getting messages accusing us of being frauds and liars because all we did was to copy PCS fork. I don't appreciate that, because creating a product is not as simple as copy and paste. Creating a contract maybe, but creating a product is a lot more than that. Products and contracts are two different things. You have to appreciate that there is work involved in creating products. Creating a contract is basically just copy, paste, launch it on PCS, and you can pump and dump. That's what many people do. That's not what we do. So I really wanted to spend some time telling people, please do not attack my mods. Please do not go to them and accuse them of our team being frauds and liars. Okay? We don't appreciate that, because that's not what we are. We work with products, we work with code, we put them together. This product will eventually be one of our multiple products. We, at the moment, because as I said, we wanted to create this as a quick win, so we use BNB. Eventually, this product will evolve to using Tigger tokens and using some other tokens. You will see as we grow, and that is going to be, we will take ownership of that, and we will add more features and functionalities. That's what Lego pieces is about, putting them together to build a product, right? So that's quick win number 2. Quick win number 3 is something that I'm very passionate about. This is my pet project. It's Pentagram. Pentagram is one of my colleagues yesterday was very funny, because out of the blue, he asked me, is Pentagram like Instagram, like we can take pictures and just shoot and post on as an NFT? Apparently his wife asked him that. So I was very happy to hear that, because this is exactly the target audience that we're looking at. We created Pentagram with the intention of making it very simple for people to create their own NFT and to be able to mint it and post it and use it, right? Because if you look at what is available in the market today, there's no such thing. We are the first one. So I have a video. We're gonna post up the video to show you how Pentagram work. So the idea is that you can. Let me see if I can find the video. The video will show you how Pentagram actually works in a very simple way. So the intention is that we are making this dApp for you to be able to shoot a picture or do whatever that you want to mint, and you put it up, mint it, and put your gallery. Very, very simple. If you have used Instagram, you will know how to use this. Let me see if I can find it because it's not being put up. I think one of the team members might have seen it. Yeah, we're gonna put it up. So my colleague is gonna put it up. So the idea of Pentagram is this, right? So we're gonna put up this video so you can see how it works. This is a working sample video of our Pentagram dApp, and when we launch this Pentagram, this is going to be the first dApp that we launch within our platform, right? We mentioned in our past AMAs that we will be launching 10 dApps, well, at least 10. This is going to be the first dApp, and as the first dApp, we are doing our first dApp token launch, where we are first gonna start off with a private sale for pre-sale holders. It's a very exciting thing. The pre-sale holders will be able to buy into Pentagram token. Pentagram token is going to be used to run the Pentagram dApp, right? So great, he's just posted it. So you can see this is a sample of how it works. We are touching it up to integrate with the UI, and we are doing this private sale, and you can see that there will be Pentagram token will be the flagship token for our NFT platform. The first release that we are going to come up with is basically IG on steroids. You know, very exciting. It means that you're going to be able to use the dApp, mint your dApp, and put it up, create your own gallery and marketplace. The marketplace is where you can trade your minted picture. Okay, there was a question. What can we mint with it? So when you mint your artwork or your picture, we actually allow JPEGs, meaning pictures. We also allow videos. We also allow audios. So if you are a singer and you want to sell your music as a audio NFT, you can do it here. Or if you are a performer, you want to create your own videos and you want to mint it, you can also do it here. It's very, very cool. You know, I believe. Well, I mean, it's no different from Instagram. I said it's a lot more than that because you're minting this, and you have your own gallery, you have your own marketplace. Now, what we are also including within this is the marketplace is where you do your trading of your NFT, and this trading platform will have a dividend reward, right? So I believe in my past AMA, I have shown a flowchart of how this works. I didn't include in here. You can always work backwards to our past AMA slides to be able to see that. So the marketplace trading has this dividend award which means that the concept expands from a regular real life day-to-day, like when you go shopping, right? You shop at, say, I don't know, some at Macy's or whatever shopping malls that you are a member of, and you get points, and the points you can redeem for whatever, So this marketplace has the similar concept, whereby when you do trading, you will earn certain dividend tracker points, and based off the dividend tracker, you will earn a reward, and the reward will be paid to you in token form, right? So very exciting stuff. Pentagram private label partnership and expansion. Okay, this and the next one, which is integration to secondary platforms using Pentagram to mint NFT. Now, this part is a little bit more technical, a little more abstract, so I will try to explain to you as much as I can. But I'll go to the next slide, which probably will explain to you a lot better. Now, the idea of Pentagram is not just about creating this dApp for you to post pictures for fun, right? Pentagram as a engine, is the conduit to the success of some of our other dApps. What do I mean by that? It's basically this engine allows you to mint the object that you want to mint and integrate into the dApp. So with this object that we have, you can do so many things with it. What do I mean? Like, let's say, for example, in a very simplistic term, I want to build, our dear friend, Mr. Elon Musk, created an engine to build electric car, right? So the engine of the electric car, this engine can be used to build other electric cars under another brand name, right? So it's the same concept. Pentagram has this engine which can be used to mint the object and integrate this into our other dApps. And as you can see in the circle on the right, some of the other dApps that we're talking about is, as I think I mentioned it a while back, the concept of wills and obituaries, whereby these, what we're minting here, are documents, right? So Pentagram is not just about minting pretty pictures. The idea of minting an NFT is, many people don't understand this concept of NFT. NFT is actually non-fungible token. It's actually about authentication, the not so sexy part of NFT. Authentication of creating how authentic an object is. So that is the fundamental basis of NFT, right? The proof of ownership. So our engine allows us to give proof of ownership of whatever object that is. In this particular case, a will. I write a will. I want to authenticate this. So it may not be taken as a legal document yet, but down the road, it could be, right? But the point is that we want to be able to authenticate this, mint this, and integrate this into whatever that we're working on, right? For example, ticketing system. There are some already available. We are not trying to create a Me Too product, but we are creating something that is available for you to mint your object to serve a purpose. So one purpose is you mint a will and you post it into our wills dApp. You create a obituary memory page for a loved ones, and you want to be able to keep it forever. You can mint the object and post it, right? Ticketing system, you mint a ticketing. I saw a very interesting ticketing system whereby there was a conference that was selling their tickets as an NFT. So what they did was they created tickets with different designs of their tickets, and they put it up on OpenSea, and people could buy their tickets for their conference from OpenSea. So it's a very, very nice concept. And for us to be able to implement that, it's very simple. So say you are an event organizer. You want to be able to create events. You want to make your event special. So people have to use an NFT to go into an event. So you can work with us to create this ticketing system whereby your event has, say, 1,000 tickets, and these tickets are come in the form of an NFT. People can buy it, and that's how it works. So it's very exciting. There are lots of stuff you can do with it. Here's looking at your kid diary. I love this. Okay, one of our investors sent me a message, which really connected with me. I just love his idea. It was actually he inspired me. He said that he was blown away by the concept of wills and obituaries, and we should expand this to pets. So, I love pets, but I don't have any pets currently because my lifestyle doesn't allow that. Now, so the idea, so he said that we should really have pets, and it's true. There are people who treat their pets more important than human, So I expanded this idea beyond just after your pet died. What I decided to do was this idea of here's looking at your kid, to create for you, the owner or parent, to be able to create a gallery, a diary through the life of your pet, your child, or even your wedding or an event. You just want to create a diary. So this is a platform which will allow you to do that, and Pentagram as the engine will allow you to do that. So all in all, you can see that the Pentagram is a very interesting product that can be expanded to do multiple things, and it's really very, very interesting because the idea is that you can use this product to do many different things. So this is why I'm spending so much time talking about it. So the tab will be available from 25th of April for private investors preview. So we're going to go to the next slide now. We are going to have this available for private investors to preview, and there will be a public launch of the DApp with marketing from 1st of May. Limited edition series of NFTs will be available to pre-sale to private investors before release to the public. Right on the right hand side, you can see that we have. This is just a sample of what the actual NFTs will be like. Okay, we have partnered with our good friends from Boda to create a series of Boda NFTs for them. Billy is a good friend. I've talked to him for a long time about this. We created a really, really cool series of Boda cards, and this is going to be launched on our platform. This partnership with Boda, the sales from the Boda NFTs is going to go 50-50 with us. They're going to earn some money, and we're going to earn some money from that. So this brings me to the next point, which means that any partnership that we may have with other tokens or any other partners, the partnership will be a profit sharing, right? So if you yourself are a token creator, or you have your own product and you want to partner with us to create some NFTs, within our platform or have a private label, please reach out to our core team, and will be very happy to discuss with you. All right. So the Hippo series, right at the top right-hand corner, it's a very interesting series. This started with our lead developer, who was nicknamed Hippo. To acknowledge him, we created a day in the life of Hippo. So the Hippo series will kickstart the ownership to the Hippodrome Metaverse series. The Hippodrome Metaverse is going to be our first NFT. Our first Metaverse series of products that we will be releasing. That is in the works. Then, of course, the other part is the Tigger series. We are creating our design team has created a card game, a Tigger series card game. Very, very exciting. That is also in the works. I am not releasing any information on that yet, but we will have this Tigger card series available for you to buy when we launch our Pentagram. So this is a hint of what's to come. The Tigger series will be used in the card game. The Hippo series will be used in the Hippodrome Metaverse, and the Boulder series will be used by Boulder in their development plans. They are talking to us about doing some stuff. I'm not in the position to reveal that yet. So something to think about, right? Of how when we expand our Pentagram. So 25th of May, this will be our first launch. Very exciting. Okay. As I mentioned before many times, and I'm mentioning it again, Pentagram will be our first app that will have a private sale. So this will be your first experience of how the private sale will work. This private sale will be using our WTF token for you to buy. So one WTF token will give you 100 Pentagram tokens, right? So this is until, so on the left hand side it says 100 Pentagram token, on the right hand side it says 50 token. Okay, I should have been clearer. The 50 token will be after we launch, when we do our PCS launch. So before launch, you will be able to swap your WTF token, your airdrop. You will receive your airdrop. Okay, you will receive your airdrop, whatever that you receive. You can swap your WTF token to Pentagram token until we do our public launch. You will get 100 Pentagram token. I can tell you this is the best possible swap you will ever receive. Okay, you're never going to get that again, because Pentagram token eventually will be used in the Pentagram platform. So the process works in the same way. When you receive your final airdrop, you can send whatever quantity. I mean, by then you will have got your rebate. So a lot of you will have got a lot of extra token. You can send your WTF token to the swap address and it will be taken into consideration. Whatever WTF token that is received in this swap, the WTF token will not be put back in circulation. So this is a factor that we have taken into consideration to increase the value of the WTF, right? It's kind of like totally related. One of the questions that one of our guys asked was, if I use my WTF token to swap Pentagram, am I going to lose my VIP privileges? Okay, any swap that you do within the ecosystem you will not lose your VIP privileges, because it's all in the same family, right? So if I were you, I would consider swapping some, right? This is very limited time only. We will change the slide to show that the green part, after the launch, you're only getting 50%. So it's very good value. I highly recommend that you consider it. If you've got any questions about that, you can ask later. Okay, so enough of Pentagram. I think I've said a lot about it already. Quick wins number 4. This is a very exciting thing. I've not mentioned it at all, but we are creating a product called Tigger. Don't you love this logo? I mean, it was so funny because when I was telling our lead designer, when he made this logo with the original Tigger logo, I said, it's too skinny. It's a piggy bank. It needs to be fatter. So he made it fatter, and it's so brilliant because it looks exactly like a piggy bank, but it's a Tigger bank, right? So I just love it. The Tigger bank is a platform for investors to have a path to place your WTF token in a long-term investment portfolio, and you will earn BUSD reward from the volume, and you will get auto compounding interest paid in WTF token. I know some of you look at this and will say that, ooh, this looks very similar to some other products. Okay, I don't deny that. We have learned from what other people are doing it, and we're expanding it, right? And we are going to make it better. It's really not rocket science, this concept. It's just basically expanding the idea and creating more use cases with it. So Tigger Bank will be available from June 2022, right? I think it's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so these are the 4 quick wins that we have put in place. As I said, the idea of quick wins is to make sure that we do stuff that can readily have an impact to make changes. So this is why we did that, right? I think we're going to move on to the next slide, which is basically the relaunch plan. Most of you have been asking what are we going to do? When are we going to relaunch? Well, finally, the day is here. We're talking about it now. I just want to regurgitate what I've shared earlier about the pre-sale VIP program to remind you that this still remains. The pre-sale VIP program, whereby any pre-sale buyers like yourself and some of the pre-sale buyers, and some of them are post-launch buyers, you will still have the ability to, let me call up the slide, the pre-sale VIP program. The pre-sale VIP program, you will still have a part of the money pot. You will still have a share invitation to the token sale. I mean, this Pentagram is an example whereby you as private sale investors will get the first invitation to this private sale. Okay, so I know there are some questions about what about those of us that bought post sale. Okay, I'll get into that in a minute. This program also has this Tigger Play tokens and Pentagram, and the privileges still remain. When I get a chance, I'll go into more details as we go along. We are creating many products with many different use cases, many different benefits. So it takes us, I know it seems very confusing. It takes us time for us to be able to explain to you in detail as well. So bear with us, it gives you this at least will give you an indication. Okay, so that's the Tigger Platinum token. If you remember at our launch, we mentioned that we were going to have a Platinum token for all people who purchased from launch days. Okay, so this is still applicable. anyone who bought at launch day will have a platinum token, and this platinum token will also give you a chance into the pre-sale, but you will not have as much advantage as the pre-seller. So pre-seller will get slightly more than what the post-sale people get. All right. So again, as what I said here, Tigger Platinum holders will enjoy 50% share of the privileges of Tigger pre-sale. So meaning, if you look at what I shown earlier in the earlier slide, whereby the private sale, 1 WF token give you 100 Pentagram token, the platinum holders will get 75 tokens, right? So you kind of like extrapolate and work backwards. So marketing update. This has been ready for a while. We are going to be rolling out the media publication this coming week. Excuse me. We have appointed, I think it's 10, if I'm not wrong. I don't think it's 2. I think we have 10 videos already. Now, I just remembered before I forget that okay, let me finish that. Yeah, we have 10 YouTube influencers who are sharing our coming up launch. Okay, so that's quite a lot of engagement that's going to be happening soon. They're all ready. Our guys are just waiting for the go ahead, and so it's happening, right? So I've just been reminded that this Pentagram private sale is only available for pre-sale Tigger holders who still have your Tigger, who are airdrop your WTF token. I know there have been people that have been talking about not receiving that Tigger token. Okay, so I want to go into that a little bit before I continue on. Now, the conversion process of the Tigger to WTF. Okay, some people are saying that I didn't receive my token. I should have my token and all that. I've been trying to explain as simplistically as I could how it works, right? So I will spend a couple of minutes explaining that. So pre-sale investors will receive 1 WTF for every 50,000 Tigger tokens, right? 1 WTF for every 50,000 Tigger. And post-launch investors will be 1 BNB, you get 8 WTF token. So if you belong to the category of pre-sale, you will get 1 WTF to 50,000 Tigger. If you haven't received it, those of you that didn't receive it, it works in the same process. Now, if you have pre-sale as well as post-launch, okay, it works slightly differently. Pre-sale investors who have post-launch, the post-launch quantity is calculated based on 1 BNB to 8. So it's a little bit complicated. Then there's also the instance of pre-sale people who dump. As I said it, dumpers are not my favorite people, so don't expect me to be extra nice to you. The people who have dumped, I know some people have been talking about it a lot. Okay, let me explain to you how that works. If you have sold your tokens, I know there was a glitch with the tax. So what happened is, if you sold your tokens, say for example, 10 BNB, we will take 20% of the 10 BNB, which is 2 BNB, and deduct that from your second tranche before we do the rebase. not after. The reason is because this tax amount should be upfront, right? So we are taking the tax upfront before we do the rebase, okay? And that's how it works. Whether you like it or not, this is how it works, okay? I know there was a couple of people who were screaming and making noise about it, that we're cheating them on all that. Look, the tax should have been paid. I know we made a mistake, but it still should have been paid, right? So this is why tax is taken up front, and then you deduct. After we remove the tax, then we calculate the rebase and whatever balance you receive. If you have not received the rebase, if you have not been airdropped the token, this is probably the reason why. Whatever that you have in your pre-sale, if you have sold whatever number of times, and I know quite a few people did, if you have sold a few times more, then you would have had a lot of tax to pay, right? So we're not going to entertain any further discussion about that, because this is how it is, right? So, yep. If you've got any further questions about that, you can always fill in the form. Okay, the relaunch tokenomics. Okay, this is the information that everyone's been waiting for. One of the issues that we have been really considering and studying very hard is the problem that a lot of rebase tokens have when they start with a very large number. So originally our number was in the region of 8 billion, which is a very large number. So we decided to keep things simple and reduce the total supply to 100,000. Right, obviously 100,000 and 8 billion, well, actually after the burn was 5 billion. It's a huge difference. So that is adjustment being made. Okay, somebody was asking that they have been airdropped the WTF 0415. Okay, WTF 0415 is a test token. That is not the actual token. All right, I've said it many times. We are doing test run. You guys keep on saying that make sure that you airdrop beforehand. This is why we have test run. Okay, we're doing the test run so that when we actually send you the tokens, there won't be any more issues. So this is why you have been receiving this token. All right. So this relaunch tokenomics, as you can see there, the token is going to be WTF. The total supply is 100,000. 1 BNB is 8 WTF. The relaunch price, 1 WTF is $50. Okay, so it's a huge jump from before. Reason being, obviously, our quantity have reduced, so the relaunch price have to increase, right? On the left side, you will see the distribution of the fund. I want to give you an idea. I just want to give an understanding of how the token allocation work, right? The whole idea of launching tokens is so that we have the funds to create product that we want, right? I don't know, some of you might have seen my long message to one of the investors in the Discord, right? Because it really annoys me that people come online and start demanding, what do you do with our money, right? The idea is we raise money so that we can afford to create products, right? Products doesn't drop from the sky. It has to be created. We need people to do it. Okay, so we create this, we raise this fund so that we have the money to hire more people, to be able to do development, to be able to do marketing, and there is a lot of administration work involved. So this is to give you an idea of how the tokens are distributed. So the percentage shown is a guideline of our intended distribution of pre-sale contribution. right? So we have about 2,400 BNB now. Whatever that is being spent is on the blockchain. Excuse me for a minute. When you talk non-stop, you need some to drink. Okay, so this is how the distribution works, right? It gives you a certain idea of the percentage of the budget that will be put into the areas that we're talking about. So I hope that clarifies. We will put in the initial liquidity as 100 BNB, and we will set aside another 100 BNB for the liquidity as well. Because, as I said, we learn our lesson. We don't want to have all these attacks and problems again, so we are very mindful of that. We want to make sure that we keep going, right? So because this is a business, it's not about just launching and dumping a token. So this gives you a guideline. The rebase calculation will be computed from 14th of March based on 2.29% daily rate. So by the time you receive your WTF token, you should have double what you have originally received. We are still doing the distribution 3 ways. What you will receive, the next tranche will be your second tranche. For the ones that did not receive, will receive the first and second tranche. Okay, and of course the post launch buyers will be the same thing. Okay, it will be distributed over 3 tranches. And the next tranche will be 7 days from launch. All right, so this is how it works. Okay, I hope that clarifies. Next slide. I know that there's a lot of questions. So some of the questions which I know people will ask includes Tigger token launch at 5 times. Are we going to do the same? No, we're not. Okay, if you study the data, the dumpers did very well. We had a dumper which made at least 4 to 5 times the original, right? The crypto climate has changed. We cannot afford to do this, and we will not do this because it just shouldn't be done, right? We're not going to entertain any. But you said it will be, well, we did launch at 5 times, right? So this is evaluating the situation we're in now, and it's not going to happen again. Initial liquidity, we will monitor the situation to prevent any issue. As I said, the initial liquidity will be 100 BNB with another 100 BNB ready for loading. This is just being mindful of any problems that we may have. Okay, so please bear with us. Metaverse launch. There are people who have messaged me directly asking, when are you going to launch the Metaverse? Okay, we are in design stage. This Metaverse is created from scratch. Our design team is working on the design now. So we will update our roadmap as we go along. It's gonna be take a while, probably a couple of months, but we are working on it. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna take time. So before you complain and bitch any further, as I said, I'm sure you realize that since we stopped on the 14th of March, how many times have you been wrong? Ask yourself that. Okay, so before you complain and bitch about our token, just be mindful that we're still here and we're giving you whatever that you should receive. Okay, we are sincere about our development. We are going to do all the things that we set out to do, because it's not about you, it's about us. We want to do it. We want to create this product. We want to launch these tokens. We want to make a difference. As I said from day one, financial freedom for the mass. This is our goal. It has always been our goal, and it will continue to be our goal. Whether you are here with us or not, it's going to happen. So if you're gonna bitch and you're not happy, please leave. You're not gonna be missed. Okay. I know people say I'm arrogant, but sorry, this is not about arrogance. This is about how business is run. We're not gonna please everybody. We're just gonna do what we gotta do, right? And one of our guys told me that you should remove that, but I'm not gonna remove that. I'm just being honest with you, right? We're running a real business. We're trying to make things that make a difference. So you need to accept that, and you need to respect that. And either you're with us or you're not with us, right? I really love this tagline for Pentagram: mint a memory, change a life. And that's what we plan to do. So we hope you're with us. If you're not with us when we launch, please sell and leave. All right. Okay, Pancake Swap, the launch slide. Next slide. So as per the original plan, the launch will be both on Border Swap and Pancake Swap. The contract will be minted, and the tokens will be airdropped by today, I believe, or well, in the next 12 hours at least, it will be airdropped. Liquidity will be added and locked in DXer as we said. Okay, trading will commence on 19th April 2022, 1600 hours. So there'll be plenty of time. There'll be no stress. Everything will be in order. Okay, whatever that you receive is the amount that you should receive. If it's wrong, there's already a Excel spreadsheet calculator. So just go and figure it out. All right. I don't have time to answer to every single message that tells me that your amount is wrong. Okay. I have a very competent team of people. Please feel free to reach out to them. They will be able to answer your questions. Right. So I will take a few questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and I will try to take a few questions. Please do not be rude. I'm going to cut you off if you're going to be rude. And if you have a genuine question about our roadmap, our process, or whatever that we are planning to do, feel free to ask. Don't come online and bitch about the number of tokens you receive, because this is not the platform to do it. And so the floor is open. Any questions? Okay, Reese Ali, I'm going to put you on. Hi, are you there?
Yeah, how's you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Nah, I'm good. Actually, I just need to know that I received the first airdrop, the WT NFT, but I didn't receive the next airdrop. So it's just that I didn't receive the rebase.
As I've said, please don't come online to ask this kind of question. If you've got any issues, we will come back to you. Okay, please go ask the question to our mods. This is not the platform to ask this kind of question. Okay, it doesn't matter. You look at the finalized airdrops in the next 12 hours. As I said, the last two tasks were task tokens. All right, task tokens. That's the reason why we call them tasks. All right, it was very funny because when we did the WT NFT token, it was meant as we didn't take it seriously as a name because it was a task token. But my goodness, some people gave us so much slack about that. It was unbelievable, So we decided to just put WT 0415 as the date, So that's why eventually we wrote that way. Okay, Miss Rick, you're next. Hi, would you like to speak? Are you there? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi. So, thank you very much for having that AMA with us. It was very clear on what you plan to do. I just have a question in regards to the slide with the relaunch tokenomics. You mentioned that the initial liquidity will be 100 BNB, and then you've reserved another 100 BNB if needed to back it up. I'm just thinking, is that quite a small amount of liquidity, especially when you're trying to launch and you're expecting people to trade the token? Won't the price impact for people who are trying to trade it be massive because there isn't a lot of liquidity for trading?
Okay, good point. As I said, we will monitor the situation. This is the intention, but of course, as we monitor the situation, we will increase if needed. Yeah.
Yes, but you mentioned that you raised 3,500 BNB.
No, we didn't
And
raise 3,500. We raised
oh, how much
2,800.
did you raise?
Excuse me?
Sorry, how much BNB did you guys raise?
We raised 2,800. We are down to 2,400.
Right. So 100 BNB with 100 more is like, 1/24th of what you raised. I know that you guys don't have to put up all of it for liquidity or even half of it for liquidity, but I mean, 200. Of course, when you're monitoring it, if you were saying you were going to put 1,000 BNB up and then using the other 1,400 to fund, future development, that makes sense. But yeah, the initial liquidity that you've put on that tokenomics makes no sense because that's only about $80,000. And if you expect people to trade it, the price impact is going to be astronomical.
We will be monitoring the situation. As I said, we're just not going to put in a lot of funds in there initially to prevent any draining. You follow what I mean? Because that was the last experience we had. We are monitoring the situation. If the need be, we will increase. That's for sure. It's not about not wanting to put more money in the LP. It's about making sure that we are safe. So what I'm trying to say is that we are going to increase. If the need be, we will put 500, we will put 1,000 if there is a need. But we are monitoring the situation. As I said, this is the initial. All right.
No,
So
but that does not make sense, and it does not give people confidence. I mean, I've been in crypto for about 5 years now, and this is I won't say anything about this action. I would just say it's not a conservative way to do things, and it doesn't instill much confidence in investors, especially when you're putting, you've raised millions of dollars, but I don't know how many million, but you're putting up $80,000 worth of liquidity. Then,
we I
the
appreciate
point
I
is,
appreciate your opinion. We will monitor this, and we will once we launch, we'll see how it works. All right. Thank you. So as I said, that was the intention is an initial liquidity. It doesn't mean that we're not going to put more in. Okay, my job here is not to not spend when needed. We are just very mindful of how we spend. Okay, we're just very mindful about how we do things. And okay, it could be very conservative, it could be, but we are monitoring and we will deal with it. All right. So next one, Melly, hi. How are you, my dear? Hi, Melly, are
Hi,
you there?
I'm
I
here.
hope
Hi.
you're feeling nice to hear from you again. How are you?
Ah, as far okay. Not as okay, but it's getting better. I have
Great.
just one question. You will, because the other question I would have is the topic liquidity, but it was already asked. And my question is, the tokens will be airdropped, as I understood, in the next couple of hours, whenever it will be. You will release the new contract address for that, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, it will be released
Okay.
at some point today.
Okay, so that's all.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Stay well. Okay. Next, NEIX. Hi. Hello. Are you there?
Just had a question here for those of us that are. I don't have this moved yet, but I was going to use a cold wallet to move my tokens into. How would this affect things? Because initially it's just on my regular wallet, but I wanted to eventually, I guess, move my tokens, like the ones you're about to send to me. I would rather move it to my cold wallet for safekeeping and see. I
How
guess
does
that would
that
affect.
affect you? Are you
Huh?
using a ledger?
Yes, that's what I mean. So, I guess
Yeah,
if
it's
I
perfectly fine.
okay, but if I mean like the pre-sale tokens are, I'm a pre-seller. I never sold anything, bought some post-sale, blah blah. But I wanted to move everything to my ledger. Um, would that, I guess, affect my VIP status and all that? Whatever you send to me, because I want to do that like ASAP as soon as I got these.
Okay, these are exceptional cases. So when you do the move, at least if there's any issue in future airdrop, let us know, because
Uh-huh.
it's impossible for us to monitor everybody's wallet, right? But
Gotcha.
if you're moving in terms of security, I totally understand that. In
Yes,
fact,
internal security. Yes.
I highly encourage everybody to do that, because in these days with all this ridiculous nonsense happening, do that. Okay, if you want to move it to a cold wallet, it's fine, no problem. If you have any issue with any future airdrops, or as long as there is a
I mean, the
trail, as you
airdrop can
know.
keep coming to my current wallet address. I just want to shift it over to the cold wallet and take but a split second. It's just, like what you're about to send to me today. I was gonna send all of it to the cold wallet. I just didn't want y'all thinking, oh, she sold them all or whatever. I'm like, no, I just moved it.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I will answer that. I will close this and I will answer that. All right.
Uh
So
huh.
what's gonna
Thank you.
happen is, thank you very much. So there has been a lot of issues about security, DAS attacks, and all that, and people making claims that they have lost their tokens and all that. So we totally appreciate where you're coming from, right? In fact, all our funds are stored in cold wallets. They're not in. They're not on. They're all very secure. So we also highly encourage you to do that. So if you have any issue after you do the transfer for future airdrops, do inform us, because it's fine. We have no issue. We have no issue for that, with regards to that. Okay. So I have to go. No more questions. If you have any further questions, we will have a form put up, and you can fill in the form, and I will try as much as possible to answer the questions in the next 24 hours, or it will be answered. I had a whole list of questions that I need to answer, but some of them I need time to think about it. So yeah, we will do that. So before I go, our team has told me that we are doing a very nice promotion. It's on Discord and there's a campaign going on. So please head to Discord and help us join this campaign and help us grow. The more we share with people, the better it will be. So I look forward to a successful launch. Thank you very much. You guys have been amazing. We're gonna do amazing stuff. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.